is Maria. I am originally born and raised from Bayonne. I'm a Bayonnite.
All right. First, how did you wind up on your mat?
I have a lot of medical issues. 5 years ago, I was in a major car accident that impounded my neck, my lower back, and then rolled into many other medical issues on top of what I already had. My son and my daughter-in-law had come to a couple of classes, and my son, who was studying to be a nurse, really encouraged me to just try and do this. I had typically no movement at the moment 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So it was something he encouraged me to do, and I was like, all right, I'll take your advice. I'll go and do it. I've done yoga in the past. I didn't like it. It just didn't do anything for me.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I'm here, and now that I hit the mat, I realized the yoga that I did in the past was in a gym and not the true yoga that Miss Caroline teaches us today. I started out with a very low ferritin, very dizzy, very lightheaded, very weak.
I remember that one of your first
And this
classes,
was-
you got really
yeah.
dizzy. Yeah.
This was in October of last year, 2020, so hitting into COVID. So I try to stick with it. And because of COVID, we also went into Zoom sessions, so it was very comfortable to do at home, so it kept me engaged a little bit. And it was something I wanted to do, something to do with my day, being I wasn't able to go out because of my illnesses. And that's how I came to the mat.
Like, summarize the surgeries that you had, either by number or the kind of surgeries that you had.
Sure. 18 years ago, I had anterior disc replacement done. Then in 2016, I was in a major car accident right here in Bayonne, a block away from home. So I started physical therapy, wasn't helping. I had a lot of dizziness, a lot of pain in my neck, and sure enough, we found out that the fusion that grew back and healed from the previous surgery had broken. So they had to do a posterior fusion. So currently I have 10 screws, 2 plates, one in the front, one in the back, 2 bars on either side now because of it, to keep my neck bones together. I had lower lumbar lumpectomy. And with all of that, it exacerbated me getting psoriatic arthritis, which is probably the biggest ailment that I have today because of it. In the pelvis area, I have narrowing of the bones, and in the groin, which causes a difficulty with me opening up and having my hips open and being able to do splits. I don't know, too many people this old that can do splits, but up until then, I was able to do a split.
Right.
So I also have carpal tunnel. I mean, as recently as February that just passed, I had 3 surgeries done, well, 2 surgeries on 3 different fingers. I had to cut them out in order for me to have mobility again. Otherwise, my fingers would lock and stay into place, and I'd have severe pain in my hands. And I went through that, and I did yoga.
Yes, you did.
Within 2 weeks of having my surgery, I continued to do yoga. So that was a constant for me, was to get back on the mat and do the yoga.
Right.
And it helped.
Wow. If you can name the 3 top differences that you feel within your body, or 2.
Okay, the 3 top differences I have in my body today after 9 months of doing yoga is enjoyment. I love doing this. It brings a smile to my face every single time. The energy, the burst of energy I get after doing an hour practice is like no other. It's almost euphoric. Third one is having confidence in myself, that I'm still that strong individual that I used to be prior to the accident. And the pride I get in doing a plank and doing a shoulder stance, which I would never imagine that I'd be able to ever do again. So it's a sense of pride, it's a sense of energy, and it's a sense of enjoyment and fulfillment that I have every single time I walk out of here.
Wow. How many classes have you completed from the day you walked in Bayohm Yoga to yesterday?
100.
100.
I never
That's
thought I'd get through one
amazing.
class. I got 100.
That's
Woohoo.
amazing, right? Doesn't that feel? Now, if you can share with anybody who's going to watch this that are suffering from arthritis, surgeries, physical pain, or they're just afraid because they don't know what yoga is, they might feel a little intimidated. What would you say to them to hopefully get them to
Okay.
walk onto
Well,
a mat?
First of all, you need to try. You need to come in. And it takes more than one class, and it takes a little bit of perseverance. I could say a lot of the moves that we do and a lot of the stances that we do, or everything that I've learned in the past for physical therapy as well. So this is a good way to get into that and start feeling better about yourself, about your element, and being positive about it and knowing that you're able to do it. But it takes more than one practice. It takes more than 2 practices. It took me 6 months to get where I am here today. Okay, I've lost weight in these 6 months as well, which is also a thing that I was struggling with. Can't explain the happiness I have coming here. Carol is an excellent teacher, as well as the other teachers that she does have here. And it's not like the yoga that you get at the gym. It's not a competitive thing. It's about you, your strength. You're learning to breathe. That was the biggest major thing also within the first session that I had. I knew coming in, I didn't know how to breathe. And I don't think a lot of people know how to breathe. And it makes such a difference, and such a difference in how you feel. And learning how to do those things when you're starting to feel anxiety, when you're starting to feel depression, or you're starting to feel some stress, or like, oh, I'm overwhelmed with my illnesses, I'm overwhelmed with what's going on in my body. Hey, you know what? Take a minute, learn how to breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. It's all there. She teaches you this. She gives you the philosophy behind it all, which again is something you don't get at your regular gyms here. It's bring me home. It's brought me home. It's a place to go to. It's my little chapel, if you want to call it that. And I know it's not a religion, but it's my little chapel. It's my place of being, my place of belonging. Okay, something that I've also lost in the past due to different things that happened. Brought that gathering, that hug that I needed, that place of welcome,